Good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ffffl News. Today, we have a special interviewer. Her name is Marty Gilner.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
And
No.
well, we all like to see you, Bob, but we have a special guest tonight. Please welcome the one, the only, the Commish. Woo! Hello, Commish. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Now, I'd like to start off with a question. What teams in the Ffffl are doing well?
Well, the Spicy Peppers have barely made any transactions or trades. They made one with me, but barely any. They seem pretty confident with their team, and it really has paid off. I think they might be the #1 team in the league.
All right. What about the Hobbits? What do you think about them?
The Hobbits are a really good team. They've got great running backs, Chubb and Barkley, great wide receivers, Jefferson and Adams, and a good tight end and a good QB. So I'm expecting a great second half from them.
And what about the Oliphants? They had a great start to the season, but some would call it lucky. What do you think their second half is going to be like?
Yeah, I think they're going to go downhill, but I still think they're going to make the playoffs.
Okay. And what about the Minutemen?
Well, their best player, I think, definitely is Derrick Henry. Even though Mahomes might get more points, I think Henry's going to play.
For his position.
Yeah.
Okay. And DJs? Thoughts?
DJs, not that many points, though they've gotten points when they need them. They have a pretty good record. Pretty average.
And we've come off some hot weeks from the Chevy Silverados. What do you think about their comeback from their terrible beginning of the season?
Well, I think it's quite lucky.
Right.
Because they drafted because of the names. But Dad's helped them get a few
The vice coach.
good players. Yeah, the vice commission has helped them. GM of the Holy Ones has helped them get a few good players like Cooper Kupp, Jamal Williams.
First draft choice always helps, right?
Yeah.
All right, and we've had some urgent calls coming in from Denver. They're concerned that maybe there's been an error in adding up the points. The Dogs thought they did better. What do you think about what's wrong with their team?
Well, here's what happened. Nobody except Geno Smith got much over 10. Like, a lot of people got over 10, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
And then two of the most valuable positions, tight end and wide receiver, one of his tight end and one of his wide receivers got 0 and 2. So that's going to bring his score down a lot. And he had a good week. He had a great week, though not good enough to win.
Right. Who do you think has been the best pickup overall, the best transaction or the best trade?
Well, I think the Bills Hoots trade was pretty good because the Bills have done, I wouldn't say great, but pretty good for the Spicy Peppers, and Hoots has done great for me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, Kenneth Walker III, Addie picked up. Those the Hobbits, and he got 24, 2 touchdowns, 110 yards. That is very good, though that might just be lucky for a point.
Right. So who do you think has been the best player overall, the MVP of our league? Who's been the best?
Well, Josh Allen, I think, has gotten the most points, but also Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley are 3 outstanding running backs who might also deserve it. And there's another one that I'm thinking of, Stephon Diggs. Oh, and Josh Jacobs. Yeah.
Yes, okay, and we've had a lot of people asking this urgent question. Wait,
one more thing. Joe Mixon got 50, and it's just crazy. Every point that Cincinnati got, and they scored 42 points, 5 touchdowns. All 5 were him, 4 rushing, 1 receiving. That was incredible. And
Great
a lot of
performance.
yards gave him 50, which is more than 13 more than anybody has gotten so far.
Okay, and as I was saying before you rudely interrupted, what is it like to be the commish? Do you feel a lot of pressure on your shoulders?
Basically, no. I basically just out of the schools.
Right, so you're saying it's not a full-time job?
Yeah.
It's more like a half-time position?
Sure.
Right. And last question, and then we'll wrap it up here. Who do you think is going to make it to the playoffs? There are 4 spots. Who do you think is going to be in those 4 spots? And of those 4, who will be in the championship? Who will win?
The Spicy Peppers are a very, very solid team up to this point. And I
Right.
think they have almost already sealed their spot from how they're looking.
Okay.
Also, I think the Hobbits.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, very good team. Now that they've got a good QB, I think.
They're basically unstoppable.
Sure. And then the Oliphants have the best record right now, but unless the Spicy Peppers win, find out tomorrow night. I think the Oliphants have the best record.
Right.
But I don't think the second half of the season is going to be as good for them. And they've gone kind of lucky. Even though they have the best record, they're about the middle of the spectrum for points.
Okay, so 4 teams. Tell me 4 teams. Who do you
Well,
think it's
I
going
think
to be?
ranked one's gonna definitely probably be Spicy Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Then Hobbits. Then it's tough because it could be DJs, it could be Minutemen, and it could be Quick Carrots, and maybe Chevy Silverators. And I'm gonna put Minutemen because even though in the first half of the first half, no, the first quarter, they were not doing that well. Now they've gotten over 100 3 times, so I definitely think a good second half for them. And then fourth, I think Oliphants. Even if they don't have a great second half, I still think
They're solid first half. Put them in. Right, and so then of those 4 championship, who do you think?
Well, it would be, if the ranking's right, Spicy Peppers Oliphants. And the Oliphants beat the Spicy Peppers last
Time.
yes. And and I think that Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs at the end of the season there might get going. So if the Oliphants, the Vice Commish, have a good week, they could beat the Spicy Peppers.
Okay, what about Minutemen Hobbits?
The Hobbits are a solid team. I think that good week from the Hobbits is pretty much unstoppable because now that they've got a good QB, Joe Burrow, they have 2 great receivers, 2 great running backs, good tight end. I mean, what more could you ask?
So who do you think will win?
Hobbits.
Okay.
Well, I meant Hobbits versus Minutemen, the Hobbits will win.
Oh, okay. Who's going to win the whole thing?
Well, Oliphants, Hobbits, I think the Oliphants won the first game against each other. They're the second one in the regular season. The Hobbits won. And I think the Hobbits will do the exact same thing in the championship.
All right, well, that concludes our broadcast for the Ffffl. Make sure to tune in next time to hear more stats, updates, and interesting news. Thank you, and good night.